Ciao football lovers of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. It's Friday and we go back to what happened yesterday on Thursday between Europa League and Conference League. So many fantastic epic games have been played. I told you that Europa League, there would have been a big huge competition, and yesterday we already had the first evidences of it. So many things happened. 4-0 of Marseille, yesterday also 4-0 against the Zerbi team of Brighton. We'll go back to all of that, but let me first explain when I'm telling ciao football lovers of the world. Who am I referring to? To all of you. Every single one of you that is taking time to watch this video. Boy, girl, men, women, whoever. But today, on the 8th of March, International Day of Women, let me just put a big up to the women community that we have on this channel. The one that are interested in football, the one that are watching, consuming football, that are watching this channel, the one that are playing football, all of you. Have a really great day. But also a special big up to Spanish media. Why? Because it's not only on the 8th of March that they are going with big pages with women or with a women player or whatever. No, they try, whenever something big is happening in women football, to really put them at the center. It's not the first time that is happening. Well, good job. Good job to them, and especially today, all the pages, but really seriously, all the sport pages, they went with at least something purple, the logo, the title, a column, which is great because color purple is the color of International Day of Women. So big up to them, really big up to them. And not a lot of other countries were doing the same. In Portugal, I found one page, Abola, that on the left side put a column with Abola wants to mark the International Day of Football. The other paper that I found was in Italy with Tutto Sport, a bit smaller, below, centrally, you see the Women for Sport. 8th of March all year long. That's it. No other country, no other pages actually spoke about women's sport, which is a pity. And when I'm telling you that media is extremely strong, well, look at, for example, AS page. AS page that was with the logo in purple, but they are focusing on something else. Un nuevo Vinicius, a new Vinicius, with a really big smiling Vinicius Jr. on their first page, telling actually a beautiful stats. The improvement of the new Vinicius. If in the past he needed 13 touches in average before scoring a goal, well, this season he needs only 5 touches before scoring, which is a big, beautiful improvement. The positive side of Vinicius. On the other side, the other Spanish paper, Mundo Deportivo, that is a bit more linked to Barcelona, is also putting Vinicius Jr., but this time with a total different image of Vinicius. Inadmissible, unacceptable. Why? Because they are referring to that episode that happened that, according to me, I told you yesterday, should have seen him booked with a red card and banned from the game. Didn't. It is what it is. And they're writing Vinicius que debió ver la roja ante el Leipzig, that should have received that red against Leipzig. He continues to accumulate all the anti-sportive, anti-fair play behaviors of the field. The promise that he did to Ancelotti and his teammates is at the moment not rewarding, or we don't see what he promised to not to do anymore. So you see, the media can impact a lot. If you go to AS, that is linked to Madrid, you see that the beautiful side of Vinicius. If you go to Mundo Deportivo, you see the bad side. There is no middle way, and that's why I'm telling you the power of media is extremely important in that narrative. Now we go to what happened yesterday in Europa League and Conference League. After you, of course, if you didn't yet, after 4 minutes, that's not a good job. But maximum of like, don't forget to subscribe. We start with yesterday, round of 16, first leg. Whew, so many games. We already spoke about Sporting and Atalanta that already played on Wednesday. But yesterday, look at that. Liverpool 5-1 against Sparta Praha. Roma 4-0 against Brighton. 2-2. And what a 2-2 for the team of Xabi Alonso. Marseille 4-0, taking revenge of their ex-coach of the beginning of the year. So many beautiful games played yesterday. So many beautiful moments. Look at that goal from Dudera. That was just beautiful. That's rocket from Darwin. Aubameyang with a chip, scoring 2 goals and breaking a record. Pay attention, we'll come back on that. But of course, when we are speaking about Europa League of yesterday, there is one game that comes in mind. Roma 4, Brighton 0. What a performance of the team of De Rossi. Fab4 is writing the Romanista, the page that is really speaking only about Roma. Fab4 for the 4 goals, for the 4 different players that were able to score. Corriere dello Sport, Brighton. It's Brighton, and you see, I don't need to translate. It's Brighton with Cristante and Dybala hugging each other. Roma was out of this world. De Zerbi collapsed. Now the quarterfinals are nearly secured for the team of Daniele De Rossi. Of course, when we are thinking about Brighton playing against an Italian team, we all go back, and yesterday it was viral on social media, to our buddy Doogie and his buddies Patrick and Mikey, that in the beginning of the season were actually speaking about Brighton against Milan. They were speaking about a possible transfer or interest from a player, telling to everyone, to the world publicly, that if a player today would love to join a team, probably there would have been big chances that he would join Brighton for the project, for the league, etc., etc. Telling also at a certain moment that Brighton would probably win Serie A, that Brighton would be a serious contender to win Serie A. Disrespected comment, according to me, regarding Serie A, their teams, especially if we are speaking about an Inter that was last season in the Champions League final, the fantastic performance of Napoli last year, big historical teams like Juventus, Milan, but also a beautiful Roma this season, all these big teams, and then a Brighton. With De Zerbi, that is an Italian coach, that when he coached in Italy with his teams, Sassuolo, etc., etc., never did something spectacular or was far away from fighting for the top 4. Would that De Zerbi team of Brighton of this season win? No, they would not, because of the high line of playing style, for the mentality of De Zerbi, for his way of winning, and also because De Zerbi, it depends when you are analyzing his team. De Zerbi that yesterday showed again that defensively is a total disaster. It's not the first time that he's conceding so much. It is a team that is well known to concede so many goals. One time it's 4, one time it's 5, one time it's 6. Then the other game they will win 5-0, 6-0. But it depends of the moment also, because it's a team that is starting with a mega sprint. What we often forget when we are judging a team, we forget that the league is a marathon and not a sprint. And yesterday probably they lacked some big players because of injury, but also lacked some energy, some ideas. And the way of thinking of football is only fun and victory is a consequence might be wrong when you are playing these big tournaments in knockout stages. Brighton, that is coming from now, or yesterday, did their 3rd loss in a row. After FA Cup against Wolves, 1-0 loss. After Premier League, 3-0 loss against Fulham. Now it's a 4-0 loss against Roma. Can we speak a bit about the Italian team of De Rossi? 4-0, Dybala, Lukaku, Mancini and Cristante. Beautiful patterns, beautiful ways. Are we surprised? Well, that 4-0 can be surprising for some. Otherwise, it can't be surprising, because look at the results of De Rossi since he took over from Mourinho. He won every single game in Serie A except against Inter, even if it's the team probably that put them a lot in difficulties. They lost 4-2. All the other games they won. They did twice 1-1 against Feyenoord in Europa League before winning and qualifying with penalties. De Rossi is on fire. 4 goals against Cagliari, 2 goals against Inter, 3 goals against Frosinone, 4 goals against Monza, and yesterday 4 goals against Brighton. When we are speaking about De Rossi, it's not only the big beautiful job in terms of motivation that he was able to bring into the team, but also much more. De Rossi is able to alternate between a 3-man defense, a 4-man defense, changing according to the opponents, but always with a proposition of football that is really beautiful. Hopefully for him and for Roma fans, he can continue to do a great job, like Jean-Louis Gasset is doing, the coach of Marseille. A bit the same story, even worse, because in Marseille it's already the 4th coach. Well, yesterday he showed again that sometimes a new boost of energy or finding the right words to motivate the team, being there at the right time, can make the world of difference. 4-0 against who? Against Marcelino, that in the beginning of the season was the coach of Marseille before leaving, before being sacked. Yesterday they had something to show, the players of Marseille. Merci pour tout. Thank you for everything, Marcelino. But now it's our turn to show you that we were not as bad as you were thinking. 4-0, what a beautiful performance. Fantastic performance also of Aubameyang, that scored in Europa League now 33 goals. Marseille, Arsenal, Dortmund is the player that in that cup scored the most goals. Finnish player? I'm not sure. Finnish player. French teams, they did extremely well because yesterday and the day before they played with 3 teams, Paris Saint-Germain, Lille and Olympique Marseille in Champions League, Conference League and Europa League. The 3 of them won. It's a 100% victory for the French teams. Of course, there was another big game that was played. Liverpool 5-1 against Sparta Praga. Also there the qualification is secured. And all the people are putting Nunes on their front page. None better. Because there is no better. Yesterday a really beautiful brace of the player. He scored also the 1000th goal under Jurgen Klopp. Do we have to speak a lot about that game? There was no story in that game. So congratulations to Klopp and Liverpool. But there is another fight, verbal fight, between Liverpool, that is at the moment first in Premier League, and Manchester City, that is at the moment second in Premier League. Where we know it, a few days ago, Trent Alexander-Arnold said, the trophies of Liverpool that we won with Liverpool are more important, have more meaning than what Manchester City won. Where yesterday, Haaland, he also spoke about it. And he said, look, I've been here only 1 year, but in that year I won the treble. It was quite a nice feeling, and I don't think he knows exactly this feeling. What an answer of Haaland, the youngest one, or not the youngest one, it's not true, the fastest one to reach 41 goals in Champions League. He only needed 37 games to do it. What a performance. Better than Van Nistelrooy, better than Messi, better than Mbappe, better than Lewandowski that needed 62 goals to reach the same amount of goals. Yesterday, of course, at a certain moment, all the eyes were looking at Leverkusen, the team of Xabi Alonso. After 34 wins, it was the moment maybe where that run would have stopped, because at the 70th minute they were led by 2 goals. Before him, doing 2 changes. He's putting in Wirtz, he's putting in Schick. At the 70th minute, it is Wirtz that is scoring the 2-1. And then at the 92nd minute, there is Patrick Schick scoring that 2-2 equalizer. Super happy, not only for the equalizer, but especially to continue that unbeaten run for 35 games. And the world was happy, I have to say. A lot of people, maybe if it was a big team like Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, Juventus, that would have had that record of unbeaten run, probably the people would not have reacted the same. But seeing a Leverkusen of Xabi Alonso doing it, well, people are happy. And I was really happy about seeing that yesterday. Now, let's see how far they can go with that really strange record. Yesterday, there was also Milan playing. Milan that won 4-2, and you can say, wow, good job, nice, you are already securing in a way the qualification to the next round. But they were whistled in their home. Why? Because their opponent, that were not the biggest one on paper, well, they played for more than 1 hour with 1 man less. And they were able to score not once, but twice against Milan. They were whistled. Milan da Matti. Crazy Milan is the title of Gazzetta dello Sport. A bola is now referring to the difficult moment of Benfica. Sobe a poco. 2-2 yesterday against Glasgow Rangers. Also for them, the 3rd game where they are not able to win. They lost in the Taça de Portugal 2-1 against Sporting in the Cup of Portugal. They lost in the Portuguese League 5-0 against Porto. We all remember it, we spoke about it on the channel. And then yesterday 2-2 against Glasgow Rangers. Difficult for them. In Conference League, well, some big games were played. Well, it was really interesting to see that Aston Villa and Ajax, they did 0-0. If I'm not wrong, only Liverpool from the English teams was able to win yesterday, because West Ham also lost 1-0. Late minute goal, I believe the 81st minute from Freiburg. So West Ham didn't win. Aston Villa didn't win. What other team? I don't remember. Anyway, no other team than Liverpool was... Brighton. No other team that Liverpool was able to win. 0-0 between them, especially because Aston Villa was seen much bigger, much more favorite than the team of Ajax. 0-0 for them. Lille won 3-0. I told you, Union Saint-Gilloise lost in the final minutes 3-0. It's a tough one at home. I don't know how they will be able to do it. And then there was another crazy game between Maccabi Haifa and Fiorentina. The game ended 3-4. What a game, with one that is leading, then the other one that is recuperating, chasing, etc., etc. They needed really a last-minute goal to go and win 4-3 in a game that is still open for the return game. What a day. I told you, according to me, I had a lot more excitement to speak about the games of Europa League than the 4 first games that we saw in Champions League. Tell me your opinion. Don't forget, maximum of like. Continue to subscribe to the channel. Boys, girls, men, women, thank you for watching the video. My name is Giuseppe and together we covered football.